Today I'm back with another video on tirzepatide and Manjaro. I want to talk to you about 17 things that I'm doing that I think that you need to do based on my research and based what I think is working for me. I'm just going to jump right in and get moving on it, and let's start. So the first thing is you want to add a daily fiber. I like psyllium husk is what I like, and I will link down for you below in the description box what I take. You don't have to use that. You can buy it in a powder form. It comes in a tablet form. I like the tablet form because I don't like the powder. I rather just like take a couple pills and be done with it. And what that helps with is that helps keep things moving, because when you take tirzepatide Manjaro, you are slowing down the motility in your stomach, and there's a risk for gastroparesis. And to help with keeping your bowel movements going, you take that. We want to take it with water, of course, because taking fiber without water will lead to constipation, that's defeating the purpose. That's not what you're trying to do. But fiber also helps to clean out your system if taken regularly and taken properly. So you want to drink it with at least 16 ounces of water. That brings me to the next thing you need to do. You need to be drinking water throughout the day to flush out your system. I like distilled water because distilled water is clean, and I know they say spring water is really good for you, but when you buy spring water at the store, you don't know that you're really getting spring water. I don't know what you're getting in those bottles, but I know that distilled water is 100% pure, and so it will bind to any toxins in your body and help flush them out, which is what you want when you are losing weight. You want to drink water, and you want the water to be flushing out your system and flushing out the toxins. Next, what is next? Okay, number 3, eat slow. Yes, because your stomach is not emptying out as quickly, you want to take your time, eat slow, give your body time to tell you that it's full, right? It takes about 20 minutes for that signal to register, and it might take up to 30 to 40 minutes to register because the motility has slowed down due to the drug, due to the medication. So you want to make sure that before you're reaching for that next plate, that you are sure that you're not feeling full, because at some point you're going to reach, if you eat too fast, you reach for that next plate too quick, you're going to feel full, and it's going to be super, super uncomfortable. We don't want that. We don't want to feel uncomfortable. Like that Thanksgiving unbutton your pants type of feeling. Yeah, not good. And I think I haven't experienced it, but I've heard it's worse than that, is what I've been told. So yeah, don't do it, and it can lead to nausea also. So just don't do it. Don't do it. Take your time. If you have to wait and you really feel hungry like a half hour later, go back and eat something else. Just do it that way instead of making yourself sick. So the next thing I want to talk about is Berberine. So this is not a must. This is just something that I do. Now you have to be mindful. Berberine is an herbal supplement that helps to lower your blood sugar when you eat carbs. It helps to stabilize the blood sugar. The way it acts is similar to glucophage or metformin that is prescribed by the doctor. Some doctors will prescribe or recommend Berberine to their patients, but you have to be careful because Manjaro is also a drug that is be used to lower blood sugars, right? So you want to be mindful of that when you're taking this, because if you're doing it, and you want to make sure that you talk to your doctor and you clear it before you do. Now, I have been in some groups where patients have said that they were having trouble stabilizing their blood sugars, so their doctors either told them to keep taking the glucophage along with it or recommended Berberine. But this is definitely something that you need to clear with your doctor, and you shouldn't just go ahead and do it. Number 5 is increase your protein intake, because Manjaro has been shown to also because the weight will come off quicker than usual, you can have some muscle wasting, which happens with a lot with rapid weight loss. So you want to make sure that your protein intake is adequate. For myself, I just make sure that my first meal of the day has definitely adequate protein. I mean, for me, my first meal honestly can have up to 60 grams of protein, because I like to get at least 100 grams of protein in to prevent muscle wasting. And so I know that I'm not going to be very hungry, so I make sure that what's included in that first meal is protein. The next thing that I do is fruits. Now, I like to have either grapes, watermelon, cantaloupe, or berries. Why those fruits? Because they're high in fiber, and second of all, these fruits are high in water, and you want to hydrate. So being that you're not hungry, you might forget to drink, you want to be mindful about taking in foods that are hydrating and that are going to feed your body what it needs while you're on this journey. Okay. I think that was number 5. Number 6 is you want to cut out sugar, you want to cut out dairy, and processed foods. Sugar, dairy, and processed foods have to go. All these steps that I'm giving you, I know you may not be able to do them all at once, right? Because you're just starting on this journey. Maybe you haven't done anything. Maybe some of these things you've done already, but you want to make yourself a list of things that as you go on your journey that you want to do to help make this journey sustainable, keep you as healthy as possible, and to increase that probability that you're going to keep the weight off at the end, because this is a lifestyle change. Next, you want to do some strength training. It doesn't have to be a lot of strength training. 10 to 15 minutes, 3 times a week. You can do YouTube search. Mr. London has some things. I think there's Grow with Joe has some quick videos that you can do 10 to 15, 20 minutes at the most, 3 times a week. And the reason for this is because of the muscle wasting. You want to be building muscle while you're doing this, because as you lose weight, you want to make sure that you're not losing a whole bunch of muscle either. Next, you want to drink some teas. Specifically, I am recommending the CCF, which is coriander, curcumin, and fennel tea. These teas are amazing for detoxing your body, also for getting rid of inflammation. Another one that's good for digestion and for gut health is dandelion tea. So these are a couple, there are more. You can Google teas that are good for digestion and inflammation, and maybe you'll have something else that comes up. This is what I use, so I'm just sharing that with you. But you're gonna want to incorporate some teas into your diet. You're also going to want to limit the amount of coffee that you drink, because coffee dehydrates you, and depending on how much weight you have to lose, can cause you to end up with loose skin. So you might want to substitute. If you're used to drinking coffee throughout the day, you may want to substitute with tea. Okay, next. Your meats. This is huge because you're not eating a lot. You want to make sure that you're eating quality meat. If your meats, your chicken, you want your chicken to be organic chicken, and your beef, you want it to be grass-fed, grass-finished. Okay? Because these meats that are grass-fed, grass-finished are not fed grains that are GMO. They are considered non-GMO with that type of labeling. I'm gonna link in the description box below for you a spreadsheet that has the labeling and what to look out for when you're looking for organic foods and foods that are not GMO. Next is intermittent fasting. You want to give your body a break to cleanse itself out, and you can do a 16-hour period where you're not eating, and you give yourself an 8-hour window to eat. What I do is I stop eating around 6 in the evening, right? So 16 hours from that. By the time I go to bed and I wake up at 6 in the morning, I've already fasted for 12 hours, right? Which is nice because you're doing that in your sleep. So that's 12 hours and I just have to wait 6 more hours. So by noon, I eat at noon. Now, if you get to a point and you're hungry and you just can't wait, then just eat. But this is something that you want to think about working up to, because as the motility in your stomach slows down, the gastric emptying is a little bit slower. You want to give your body time to clean itself out before you start putting more food in. Okay? So next is probiotics. You want to take a good probiotics. I can't say enough about gut health. Your gut is your second brain. Your gut has a brain, and your gut tells your body what to do and how to do it. And if your gut health is not in order, you have cravings, you have difficulty digesting your foods and absorbing the nutrients from the foods. And now, guess what? You're not eating as much. You're going to slow down what you're eating. You're going to forget to eat. And so the foods that you're eating, you want to be able to absorb as many nutrients as possible. And a probiotic will help feed your body good bacteria that will help. I have a probiotic that I use because of the quality. I like to use a high quality probiotic that I know that the cultures are still live, because you want live cultures. If the probiotic cultures are dead, when you put them in your body, it's not helpful. And so I use a reputable company that ships them to me, that they come and they're live. I can link them. The company's name is Seed. I will link them down below. I'm not affiliated. It's just what I use because it's a high quality probiotic and it works. Next. Take progress pics, guys. Progress pics. I already took pics. I started 6 weeks ago. I took progress pics before I started. I think I'm going to wait until right before Christmas and take another set of pictures, because it's really important. And if you need to take it weekly, just so you can see, this is going to be really important for the times when you're stalling. When you have weight loss stalling and you don't see the scale moving, because that can also happen while you're taking this drug. So this is a good habit to have, even if you're not using Manjaro or tirzepatide. You want to be taking progress pics, because that's really going to keep you going, because sometimes you're having a shrink week where your body is shrinking but the weight's not coming off because you're losing visceral fat, which is fat on the inside, not the fat that you see on the outside. That visceral fat is the fat that's lining your organs. There are periods of time that you'll be losing that fat on the inside, which is what you want. But as we're on this journey and we're starting with higher weights, we get a little antsy, right? And we think the drug is not working. So you want to give it time. You could have a week or two where you don't see any weight loss, and then you have like a huge amount of weight loss. But taking the pics will show your progress even when the weight doesn't seem to be coming off the scale. That brings me to a scale you have to weigh. Get a scale that measures your body fat percentage. I use Renfo, and I can link the one I have also. I bought it on Amazon. It wasn't too expensive, and it links to my phone. I just turn it on and it keeps track for me. And what's nice about that is it measures your BMI. It measures your body fat percentage, because that's the other thing. Sometimes you are not losing weight, but your body fat percentage is coming down. So, and which brings me to the next point of what you want to do. You want to prepare, because especially around the holidays, right? Like, how many things are you going to see, or did you see on Thanksgiving, that you're going to see again on Christmas, over the Christmas and New Year's holiday, that you don't normally eat, that you're going to want to, maybe you're going to want to dip in. And we don't want to deprive ourselves. You may make a choice this year, if you're just starting your journey, that you're not going. You want to take care of yourself first. But if you decide you're going to partake and you know that you're going to eat, for Thanksgiving, you know what I did? I planned. I said, okay, I cooked Thanksgiving dinner. And I planned and I said, I'm not eating my first meal until everyone gets here and we have dinner together. Because I knew I was going to have wine. I knew I was going to have turkey. I knew I was going to have pie. It's a lot of food. It's a lot. It's like gorge yourself day. We're stuffed like turkeys. Like you would think we're the turkeys, right? Like we eat so much on the holiday, and it's sold to us that we need to go to the store, we need to buy all this food. And even when you try to downsize the amount of food that you cook, somebody's bringing more food. You want to prepare yourself that you're going to be eating, so that you're going to be eating things that maybe you don't normally eat, so that maybe you only eat one time that day, or do what you got to do. And then also, because you're going to be eating things you don't normally eat, like I'm telling you, cheese is not really good for me. I know that. Thanksgiving, I had mac and cheese. So the next day, and I had wine. So the next day, I was ready. I detoxed. So I planned for the day. I didn't eat until it was time for dinner. And then I detoxed. Like I got up the next day. I had my detox tea, my dandelion tea. I fasted. I didn't eat anything until later. I think I fasted till 2. The next day, I waited, because I wanted to make sure that I was detoxing my body. So I had tea all day. I drank a lot of water the next day. Just detox. I took I use Cascara Sagara is what I use. It's a stool softener to help clean your intestines out that I use. And it's really soft. It doesn't cause diarrhea, but it just cleans you out. And I took some of that the next day. But you just want to plan. I'm not telling you to take what I take, do what I do, but just plan that how you're going to tackle it, so that you're not going in and losing all the progress that you've made in just one day. And a good way to do that is journaling. You want to journal. This is my gratitude journal, and I sometimes forget. I don't do it every day. But that's my gratitude journal, and I have it here because I get up in the morning, I write something I'm grateful for, and then I weigh myself, I hand write my weight into my journal so I can keep track, and I can go back and look and see what I was doing, what's going on, if I'm gaining weight, if I'm losing weight, how do I feel? I wouldn't have thought so. My son, who was also on a weight loss journey, recommended this to me, and I said, I don't need, whatever. What do I need to journal for? And he's like, Mom, like, you need to do it. Like, you're gonna be so enlightened about what's going on with you and your weight. And so this is really important, because you're gonna find that a lot of habits that you have will come out in your journaling. And so this will help you clear those habits. And when you write something down that you've done, let's say I drank a lot of wine, like a whole bottle of wine yesterday. I woke up, I don't feel good, I gained 2 pounds, and I can write this down. And so this helps you, like the next time, your mind is seeing it, right? You're writing it. And so when you write it and you put it out there that this is what you've been doing, there's nobody else to blame but yourself, it's like, wow, you're more apt to be able to correct the behavior. I'm just telling you, guys. I don't know. It works for me. So try it. At least try. I think I have just a couple other things for you that I wrote down here. Oh, this is a bonus. Add soups to your diet. Many days will break my fast with soups. It's amazing to me. It's warm, especially now we're hitting the winter months. I'm in Florida. It's cooler here, but it's still hot here, but still it's filling. It's warm, which gets your digestive system moving, right? Because it's warm. And also it's so satisfying, and it's hydrating because it's water. You're getting full, and you're not having a whole clump of food that you're shoving into your stomach. I just found like adding soups has been really amazing for me. For some reason, when I have a soup, it can hold me over till, if I eat at 10, 11, 12, at 11, I'm not hungry again till like 4 or 5. Maybe I'll have it with an extra protein or something, and I'm good to go. I'm just letting you know what I do so that you can see it's a process. And I wrote it down. This is what I do. Last but not not least, so your support system. How can I forget your support system? I'm like, what is it's right here. Your support system. So I have a group called a Healthy Alternative that I joined for a support system. So what's really interesting is that I've been in these subreddit groups. So that's a support system. I will link them down below. Like there's a subreddit group for Manjaro. There's one for Terapazide. You will see that people say that when they start to lose weight and they go on this journey, the people around them are not always as happy for them as you would think they would be. And so it's the oddest thing. I've heard it said that it's because people get comfortable with you being who you are when you're overweight. People will tell you, you don't need to lose weight, you look good the way you are, but you're doing this for your health, right? And you're doing this because this is for you. And I heard this lady say that her husband, she had lost 50 pounds and her husband just walked around like he didn't. She asked him, like, did you notice that I lost 50 pounds? And he's like, oh yeah, like it was no big deal. 50 pounds, that's a lot, right? And then having a support system of people who are not judging you, because then people sometimes will judge also because, oh, you're using something, like why can't, oh, you should be able to do this on your own. And you'll just hear different things, because when you start to lose weight, when you go on a weight loss journey, everybody then when you start to lose the weight, will then have an opinion about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But in the meantime, this is working for you, which you would expect that they would be like so super excited for you, right? But sometimes it's the case. And I'm just saying, be prepared that sometimes it's not. So I joined some of these groups so that I can go in and see what other people are saying on their journey, how they're doing. Somewhere that you can post things that are happening with you along your journey and get feedback without judgment. And that's going to be really important on your journey if you're thinking about doing this. Anytime you're on a weight loss journey, that's important. I also joined a group called A Healthy Alternative, and I will put their link down in the description box below. Also, because I feel they are a group that they are health conscious, right? They talk a lot about fasting, but it's really health conscious behavior and talk in the group. So that's going to be really important for you, because it's likely that if you are overweight, that you've been around people that aren't so health conscious. So it's really important to have a support system that are doing, people who are doing the same thing that you're doing, that you can get advice from, that you can reach out to, that you can even just going in, if you're shy, you can go in and see how they're handling the things that are going on in their life. And if you have any questions, drop them down in the comment box below, or you can send me an email if you like. So I hope you found this information helpful today. I'm just coming out here, I'm sharing with you what I'm doing in hopes that it's something that can help you along your journey. And some of these things you can, even if you're not on this weight loss journey and you're just watching, you can use some of these things in your life just as a help, just to be a little bit healthier. So I hope you found this helpful, and until next time, I'm sending you love and light. Spread the wealth.